And good Saturday morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. Glad to have you with us on a Saturday morning. David Keever, Mike Powell, Brett Keever. Almost football time. It's starting to feel a little like football. We had scrimmages last night all over the state of North Carolina. And, of course, we are now 6 days away from the official kickoff for the high school football season.
The start of the NFL exhibition season last night.
Have you watched any?
Not yet.
Not yet. Will you watch any?
Very little.
I'm one of those that I'm all pumped for it. I like the matchup, and then 15 minutes into it, I turn it.
Yeah.
Something else.
Because the starters are out.
Don't mean anything, you know. You're more likely to I hate to say this, you're more likely to see a star player get injured and
we've already had one.
Miss
Zach
substantial.
Wilson, QB
I hadn't heard that.
New England.
He go down last night.
Limped off with a non-contact.
Well, now wait a minute, you messed up. He's not the New England.
I mean the Jets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you had me wondering if it was Mac Jones or.
Yeah. No, Mac Jones survived it.
Mac Jones survived. But Jets quarterback, tell me the extent of the injury.
Non-contact, knee injury. I don't think it's a game changer, but.
Well, sometimes that means torn ACL.
It's a game changer if he's not in there.
Well, that's true too.
Definitely a game changer if he's not in there. I can't even tell you.
The Jets did beat the Eagles 24-21, but left the game. No diagnosis. It was a knee injury. Same one he heard last year.
And not even a thought on whether it's probably a tear.
The piece on the ESPN does say this would be a devastating.
Yes, it would.
For the Jets.
Yes, it would.
Built everything around him.
What pick was he last year? In the
third or fourth, maybe.
Was he that high?
Yeah, pretty high.
Yeah. Yes.
And they have Mike White from Western Kentucky. And
Mike White, I remember
Flacco.
used to coach.
Do you know that Joe Flacco's still around he's in the
60-year-old quarterback out of Pitt/Delaware?
Yeah.
Joe Flacco.
He played against App State.
He did. Many moons ago.
Many moons
ago. When
App was winning national titles, albeit in another division, but still. Do
you know what I did this morning for the first time? I was trying to count the days. Something I did this morning probably for the first time in over 100 days. How many weeks would that be? 15 or so? No, more than that.
More than 3 months.
Guess what I did? No, last week's. What do you think I did? I turned the air conditioner off in my car on the way.
I did that last night on the way home.
Yeah, I didn't last night on the way home, but I did
for the first time in months.
There was a nip in the air.
Yeah,
this morning, and
I was hot.
It's mid-August
because the press box seemed pretty warm last night.
It was, Yeah.
Well,
in Lincoln's press box, it's the length is what gets you. If you walk 15 feet toward the other end, it starts cooling down.
Yeah,
it was all the way to the other end.
It was cool.
They got the fans going and the ceiling fans going and stuff like that. So the closer you get to that air conditioning vent down there, and it's a big vent, the cooler you're going to be in that press box, especially with all the solar heat that comes along. This time of year. But yesterday, wasn't quite as bright sunny. But this morning I thought, man, this is. No humidity in the air. It makes the air feel so much cooler, and it was nice outside. Just kind of enjoyed it without running the air condition. I'm sure it'll be on before the day's over. I'm not that crazy.
Yeah, and we had a full moon last night too.
Was it full? Super
moon, yeah.
Super.
Big and fat in the.
The full comes once a month. The super comes every 3.
I don't know.
It's
Lenny
different.
seems to know.
Huh?
Lenny said super. I don't know.
I know, but I know the supermoon. I just don't. I can't recall how often that you have the super moon.
Yeah.
But it's
Lenny, where are you? You look that up for me.
You gonna get Lenny on a moon question?
Yeah, why not?
He's on the phone right now with Neil Armstrong, trying
to
find out the
Neil Tyson deGrasse, who's the astrophysicist who has the
I'll leave that one up to you.
He is good.
He's very good. That's the last one of this year.
I bet there's 4. I bet there's one each quarter.
It's gorgeous to look at.
Yeah, need one of those on Halloween.
Oh, of course.
So it's usually 3 or 4 per year.
3 or 4 per year, so it can be
Okay.
either. Okay. There's your moon education for the morning. You know, sitting last night covering high school football, covering the scrimmages, and seeing all 4 of the Lincoln County teams participate. They all won, by the way, in their game-like scrimmage. All 4 of the teams won last night. East Lincoln over Northwest Cabarrus, and then it was West Lincoln defeating Ashbrook.
7-6.
Yeah, East Lincoln's was 14-0. West Lincoln 7-6, and then North Lincoln beat Bandy's 13-12. Very, very tight, very competitive game on both sides. And then in the nightcap, Lincoln beat Bessemer City 21-0. But you know where I was going with this, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden it pops up on everybody's phone. You know, anybody that gets these alerts or things like that, or checks Twitter periodically, which for some reason I hadn't checked it quite as much lately, but I do get those alerts from Bleacher Report. And the big news of the night was Fernando Tatis getting an 80 game suspension from Major League Baseball, where he hadn't even played all year. Not one game, right, Brett? He's not been able to suit up for one game because of injury.
Yeah.
And now, who's going to determine when the suspension starts and he would be off the DL? I'm sure when this next DL disabled list, whatever he's on, the IL, or that's called different things now. But whenever he comes off of that one ends, he's not going to go on another one. He's going to say, I'm ready to play now, so we'll start my suspension, whether he's healthy or not, right? Or does the league look
I don't know
into
how that works.
I
just figured it started
today.
Maybe today, whether he's healthy or not. I don't know.
Maybe that is the way it works, but
I did see that he wasn't going to appeal it. He's just going to go ahead and he said it was his mistake, and
did he?
He's going to go ahead and start serving.
His mistake by picking the I don't want to call it drug. What do you supplement? His mistake by picking the supplement that had the illegal substance in it, or his mistake that he knew it was in there, but he tried to get by with it. You could take it as my mistake different ways. I just wonder.
It made it sound like he took something he didn't realize was illegal, but I don't know.
They always fall back on that.
Well, I will say this: if you've ever seen that list, you could see how you could overlook one.
Oh yeah.
But I swear the list might have 10,000 things on it. It looks, when you start reading it, it looks like it could be up to. I know it's not that many. But.
He had been playing in minor league games, so he was about ready to be called, to come back up. And
well, that means you're not on the DL anymore, I guess, or you wouldn't be able to play in those minor league games.
You're still off the roster,
right?
However you want to put it. So, they still. It's not like they had an open roster spot, so I think he technically is still on the DL, even though he's playing in those.
Does that mean he has to stop that?
I would think so.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too, but I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think he can play in the minor league either.
What good's it going to do if you got to sit out 80 games? Why take up a spot on that? Why take up a spot?
Well, and you're taking a chance on getting hurt again.
True. Yeah. I would guess that stops. But this is a team, in the past you just kind of say, it's something happened to the Padres, but this is not your typical Padres team. This is a team that could make a run at a World Series championship, and that's got to be a big blow down the road. 80 games takes us into next year, right? And do they count postseason? Will they count postseason?
I don't think so.
Okay. So they get to the postseason. Let's say they play 10 games in the postseason. That's 10 games he could have counted.
I don't think that factors in.
Doesn't factor.
Okay. I don't think so.
So we know then the suspension's going into next season.
Yeah.
Next season. He's going to miss. I don't know how many's left right now. If I had to guess, just by looking, 40 games, 45.
40 or 50, somewhere around
So
there.
he's going to miss the first 2 to 3 weeks
He said it turns out I inadvertently took a medication to treat ringworm that contained, close to ball or something. I don't know, whatever the ingredient is that was banned. I should have used the resources available to me in order to ensure that no banned substances were in what I took. I failed to do so.
So that's where the problem is. Who's responsible for that? Trainer? Team doctor? Do they have team doctors? I'm guessing everybody has a team doctor. And would they know that right off the bat about every single medication that's out there? And is it on the label? Or you have to look it up, or do you have to find out other ways, when you take that medication? Does it tell you every single ingredient?
Yeah, I would guess it's on the label.
That's in it?
I'm just guessing he got that, away from the team, like he wasn't prescribed that by a team doctor.
San Diego, Tijuana. Is that where you're going there? The walking distance, right? About almost from San Diego to Tijuana, across the border. Not saying that that's what he did or where he got it, but you never know. At least he is taking responsibility, saying his fault that this happened. But well, Brett, they're a rival of your teams, the Dodgers. Do you not think that's a big blow and would seriously be a key ingredient of a World Series run down the road?
It is a big blow, but not as much as if he had been playing all year.
Yeah.
I mean, they've played 100
and take him out
100 or so games without him.
And have a good record.
Yeah. And they added Juan Soto to what they already had, so it's not as big of a blow as it could have been.
I agree with that. I mean, you wouldn't want to – what you're saying is you wouldn't want to take Mookie Betts out of your lineup today.
Right.
And try to win, the World Series without a guy that's played all year long. But, I just very interested in that. I hate to see that, but it seems to happen every year. I think maybe it's been a while since we've had a player of this magnitude.
Yeah.
Somebody that's going to be a perennial all-star that we've seen him. Is 80 standard?
Yeah.
First time offense, 80s.
I think so.
80 standard, and then it goes probably to double that if you do it.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yep. Which is basically a half a season to a whole season, basically what that turns into. A few other headlines on here. Deshaun Watson played last night, and he happened to go up against another Clemson alum.
He did not lead his team to a single first down.
Is that right?
No.
You were waiting on. You were sitting on that one, weren't you, Mike? You were ready for that.
Sitting on that one for 5 minutes. Yeah.
But he went against Trevor Lawrence, another former Clemson quarterback. Watson says his quote last night was, "Truly sorry to the women I've impacted." Mm-hmm. So we still are waiting to find out the final word on the suspension.
The consensus seems to be that it's going to be more than 8 games.
Was it ultimately 6 or 8 that they?
6, yeah, 6. But probably
will be increased.
Maybe a whole season.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. We'll okay. And then of course all the speculation has been, what do you do? Do you go after
Garoppolo?
Yeah. Or somebody else?
Is he the wild card out there for everybody that needs a quarterback? Seems to be.
And what that does, that leaves San Francisco sitting very pretty because they can say, hey, best offer coming in.
Yeah.
As long as he's not in our division.
Yeah.
And I'm not so sure they wouldn't trade him to Seattle. Anyway, they wouldn't trade him to the Rams. Of course, the Rams don't need him.
Nope.
Well, they may need him. Have you heard the Matt Stafford news?
Right. He has his elbow has not. He's had a whole off season to heal it, and it hasn't. So
you could see that at this point in the
who needs Garoppolo more than any other team? A Garoppolo.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go to a team that's unsettled at the quarterback position, I can't think of one that's more unsettled because they have said that nobody's really looking like a leader or the starter.
Of course, they drafted Pickett.
Mm-hmm. But he's a project.
Yeah,
wouldn't you think? 2 to 3 years down the road.
The Oklahoma State QB is still there, right?
Rudolph.
He's a journeyman. Yeah.
And then you've got Trubisky.
Yeah.
Who's probably going to be your starter.
Yep.
Mitch Trubisky's probably going to wind up being the starter, at least for the immediate future for the Steelers.
So that's 3 quarterbacks. You're going to bring in Garoppolo, make it a 4-headed monster?
Well, one would be gone instantly.
Yeah.
And don't ask me because I don't know which one it would be that they would do away with.
They're not getting rid of Pickett, obviously, since he's the future.
That's the one that we know will still be in place if all that should happen. Pittsburgh's not going to trade for him. They're not going to do that. They just don't do that kind of thing. They're going to go with what they got, I would guess.
Well, now it does say here that Jets QB Zach Wilson will have an MRI, so I guess we'll find out the extent of that.
So
he's everything for them, obviously.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. I hate that for the Jets. What it says on here, sources, Jets hopeful Wilson dodged major injury. That's what it says on ESPN this morning. That's their headline. So hopefully he dodged a major injury. So I guess they still don't know. But it sounds like, to me, just by reading that, it sounds like there's a better chance that it's not a major injury than that it is a major injury. And for his sake, I hope so. And for the Jets' sake, I mean, I really like their coach, Robert Saleh, who came in from San Francisco as a defensive coordinator. This is his second year.
And I thought they had one of the best drafts.
They did. Had a really good draft.
So hopefully just a knee sprain.
Especially in the early rounds, they did really well.
Kyler Murray, I guess, taking his contract seriously. He's going to have to spend more time in the film room. He was calling plays from a headset last night in their first preseason game.
So now he's going to be a $500 million offensive coordinator. He's going to change roles.
Yep.
With the, of course, what do you think about? Did he play at all?
He didn't play.
Didn't play at all.
No.
Aaron Rodgers. I heard, Aaron Rodgers is always out there, always something different. But he made a very good point a couple of days ago. Mike, I heard him say that if I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play a quarter, I'm okay with it. But I really is in the preseason. He said I really don't even want to go out there and play one series. He said I just don't think it's worth it. How much time do veteran quarterbacks really need to play in the preseason? Is it
very limited?
Yep, and we've discussed this forever. Is the preseason too long? They did take one game away from preseason, right?
Yeah,
when they added the
games.
extra regular season.
Yeah,
3 games, and I think they have an extra week off between
before they play
the last preseason game and the regular season.
That's a long 2 weeks for us fans, isn't it?
Way too long. Yeah.
It doesn't start Labor Day weekend, but it does start.
But you get some college football that weekend.
You do get college football.
Yeah,
you do get college football, which definitely helps fill the gap. But I was trying to think of where I was going with that. Last headline, Mike was talking about it. Murray wearing the headset, calling the plays for the Cards. Does that count as film study?
I guess so. That's what I'm thinking.
He wasn't very high on film study or something with some of his comments a couple of weeks ago. And that's about it as far as those major headlines go this morning, unless you guys know of something else. I want to head straight into Major League Baseball, but unless you guys know of something earlier this week that kind of stood out to you.
Well, I mean,
to me, NFL training camp, and I watch a lot of that stuff on the NFL Network. I do. But, NFL training camp is all about survival.
Yeah.
Who makes it through it?
Yeah, the big news is the injuries.
It is every single year.
That's the thing.
Every single year.
Now, I do want to watch the Chargers now that Sage Surratt has signed with them and see, how much he gets to play in preseason.
Want to see the Titans and see how Farley
and I know
progressed.
Farley played in their first game
Mm-hmm.
Well, is anybody interested in the
And then Chaz will
Panthers
be playing for
QB
Minnesota.
battle?
What did you say, Mike?
Is anybody interested in the Panthers QB battle?
Well, tell us about it.
I just went. Well, they play the Washington Commanders today in their first exhibition game
Where?
at
Washington.
In Washington?
Maryland.
In Maryland. FedEx Field in Maryland.
And what I hear is the worst, most run-down stadium
Well,
in
you know
the
what?
NFL.
They're ready to build a new one in D.C.
They
is
want,
what I
yeah,
hear.
they want back in D.C.
Back in D.C. So, and I don't blame them. I don't know how stuff like that happens anyway. They've been out there, what now, 20 years
Yeah.
or so?
Maybe
or
30.
Maybe longer. Yeah.
Yep.
In Landover? Or where? It's
Yeah.
not Landover, is it?
Yeah.
Is it FedEx Field still? At one time it was FedEx Field. I don't know if it still is or not. It might be.
I think it is.
What's the owner's name? Might be named
Snyder.
Snyder Field
Stadium.
Now. Yeah.
Remember the old days when they, what was it, RFK?
RFK. Yeah.
RFK
Sure I do.
Stadium.
Who don't remember that?
Yeah.
The glory days.
The glory days. You know, that's funny you said that. I was. We're going to get into this in a little bit. Streaks and how long it's been. The glory days for the Redskins, the Cowboys, and the Giants, all out of the NFC East. It's amazing when I started looking on here a couple days ago. I've got this thing that popped up on my phone the other day, and it's Super Bowl teams with Super Bowl wins. Just all the teams with Super Bowl wins, and it's got the teams that's had wins in the last 10 years, the last 20, and then San Francisco, Dallas, and Washington all fall into the 30-year category.
Gosh.
That's three. I mean, at one time, those were the three teams winning the Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Dallas,
Well, if
San
you
Francisco,
go
Washington.
back to the mid-'80s through late '90s, those three and the Giants.
That's who you grew up watching win Super
Yeah,
Bowls.
a lot.
Who won it?
When the NFC won like 9 in a row.
And it was always two of those teams would be playing in the NFC
They would.
Championship.
And you pretty much knew at that time that was your Super Bowl.
Yeah, whoever won. Yeah,
They were
went on to
crushing.
win it.
They were crushing the AFC opponent. But they fall into the 30-year category.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, what's interesting is how many teams you think fall into the 10-year category? How many teams you think
They've won
Super Bowl in the last 10 years?
Well, obviously the Patriots, Jags.
Jags?
No, not Jags.
Somebody check. Mike has been on a trip with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh. Tampa Bay, baby, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, you had the wrong Florida side.
Yeah, wrong Florida side there, Jags. Ooh.
So Mike's trying to count.
They did make an AFC championship
I just
game.
wanted a number. They did, and
Well, what, about 5?
there was a chance that the Jaguars
6?
and the Panthers in their second year, I think,
Yeah.
would have both been in the Super Bowl. They
Would
both
have.
were in the championship game. But
They were.
Well, wait, nobody's won more than one other than
so
New
what's
Eng-
your answer
9?
then? 9.
9.
Yeah.
Yeah, New
9.
England's the only one that's
That
won
is parity,
multiple.
guys. That is parity.
You got Kansas City, the
Yep,
Rams.
The Rams.
Yep. In the last 10
Philadelphia.
years.
Yep, Eagles.
Eagles.
Not the Jags, though, Mike. I don't see the
Oh,
Jags. I can't
darn
find the
it.
Jags on here.
Darn it.
You've only named 3.
Well, he said New England and Tampa.
Yeah.
New England, Tampa, Philadelphia, you said.
Kansas City.
Kansas City,
City.
Brett said.
The Rams.
The Rams. So you're like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's funny because they're the farthest 4 back.
Baltimore. Was that within
Yep.
10
Denver.
years?
The Ravens, Denver.
Yeah,
Yep.
Denver.
Yep. 2 to go.
Seattle.
That's 1. Seattle.
Well,
Well, now I thought you already said Seattle. So you've
No.
named the Rams, Tampa, Kansas City, New England, Philly, the Broncos, the Seahawks, and I don't know if you've named these other 2 yet. And they are the farthest ones back. And as a matter of fact, one of them has been cellar dwellers since they won that Super Bowl, and the other hasn't gotten past the second round. Hadn't got past the first. They have got past the first round. They won one playoff game, I think, since they won the Super Bowl. Yet they're good every year. They're good every year. So, and I don't think you said them, but you may have. Rams, Broncos, Seahawks, Bucks, Kansas City, New England, Philly, and the other two, one's from NFC, one's from AFC.
We said Ravens.
Okay, that's the team that hadn't been past the second round. They can't get out of the second round since they won the Super Bowl, and that was a win over San Francisco. So
Right.
that was about that was the one I guess was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. With Flacco, right?
And you guys know the other one should be on the tip of your tongue. You just didn't realize it was as recent as 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Giant.
Yep. The second beating of Eli over Brady.
I was thinking like that was 09.
It looks like it came. Well, they just got it here in the last 10 years, and
Okay.
I want to say they're in order.
I thought there was 07 and 09 that the Giants.
Well, you thought wrong.
Okay. Quite possible.
Unless
of
these people,
course,
unless CBS has
No, I'm
has,
not calling
has
them to
printed it
question
wrong.
CBS.
Just listen to this before we take our first time out. In the last 20 years, you go now. This could be 11 years, okay? But in the last 20 years, Green Bay, New Orleans, Pittsburgh, and Indianapolis have Super Bowl wins in the last 20 years.
That seems like ages ago.
In the last 30 years, I've already told you these three: Dallas, San Francisco, Washington. You have to go back 30 years. You want to see if you can name the two teams that you have to go back 40 years
40 years.
for wins. And I'll say this: one of them has only won one, and the other has won three.
40 years.
The Raiders.
The Raiders are in that category of 40 years.
Raiders.
And there's one other.
That's only won one.
Only one.
Miami.
No, they're
More than 40.
yes, they're on the list, but it's more
40.
than 40.
That goes back to the 80s, right? If I do
Mike
the
Powell
math.
doing math.
I'm doing math again.
Well, scary
Ooh.
thought.
God, 80s. Dang.
I'll say this.
The Bears.
Yes.
The
Bears.
My hint for you was going to be they were probably the most dominant team in our lifetime.
Yeah.
But it didn't last but 1 year.
Their only Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And they won some NFL championships.
Yes.
Back
Oh,
in the
yes.
50s,
Yeah,
60s.
with the George Hallis, one of the greats of the game.
Now I'm going to tell you
And
this.
even before,
You
right?
guys
Even
know all the
before the
teams that have won Super Bowls. You know them all. You know, I mean, you can think of them. You can.
Yeah,
if I asked you,
yeah.
you'd say, yeah, they did win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
So you've got one that falls into a 50-year category
50 years.
and one that falls into a 60-year
Yeah.
category. Of course, you got a whole lot that has never won it. You got the Bengals, the Panthers, the Texans, the Jags, the Vikings. Hard to believe they're 0-4. The Lions, the Browns, the Chargers, Falcons, Cardinals, Tennessee, and Buffalo have never won it. So there you go. We've named all the teams now except for these two. And Brett's already named one of these two. He just got it a little bit early.
Oh, who was it? I said a minute
The last
ago.
50 years,
Last 50 years.
Don
That
Shula
goes
won
back-
the
Yeah, Miami.
Super
Man.
Bowl.
And then the Jets.
There
Gotta
you go.
go back
That's the other one.
to Super Bowl.
They're all
3.
by themselves in the 60-year category. Would you rather be in the 60-year category or in the bottom category that says never?
60 years.
I think that's a no-brainer.
Well,
right?
with that Super Bowl, that's one of the most famous
It is. It is.
Super Bowls.
Well, that was the one that showed that the AFC could win the Super Bowl after the Packers the AFC dominated the first 2 years, right? So I recall of the Super Bowl as we know it.
The
the
NFC.
NFC.
Yeah.
The NFC. Packers won two
Packers,
straight. I wouldn't say they won the games by double digits, but
Yeah.
total domination, I wouldn't go
Okay.
that far. It was the
Yeah.
Chiefs and the Raiders.
Chief of the
And
Raiders,
I think the Raider game especially was kind of close. Lenny says a ringworm treatment, he says, but the Padres GM A.J. Preller, this is talking about Tatis, said there was hope that from the offseason to now there would be some maturity. Woo!
Yeah,
Woo!
his words were
Rough.
pretty harsh.
So I don't think they are taking any responsibility, and that being the team. That the team is not taking any responsibility. Lenny did get the Jets that fell into that 60-year category. Once again, think about this. Now tell me how many of these teams have been to the Super Bowl that haven't won it. Bengals, they have been. We know that.
Twice.
Oh, I thought you were
And
wanting
wrong,
to
Mike,
say
you're
how
wrong.
many times they've been. They've been 3 times,
Three
right?
times, not just twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lost to San
year,
Francisco
and then
twice.
San Francisco
Oh, yeah, that's right.
twice.
Panthers, yes,
Been
been to the
twice.
Super Bowl. Texans,
No.
No chance in sight either. Jags, no chance in sight. Vikings, been 4 times. Lions, we're going to get to a trivia question in a little while that involves
never sniffed it.
The Lions. We're going to get into a trivia question in a little while that involves the Lions. So I've already give you the answer.
How many playoff games have the Lions won?
That's going to be our trivia question.
Okay.
You want to try it now?
One.
Got it. Bingo. They're the lowest.
Was it Dallas?
In the NFL.
Who was it?
I did not see that. I did not see that. For
Was
some
that
reason,
under
I
Wayne
had
Fonts?
Philadelphia in my mind, but I may be wrong about that too. Cleveland never made a Super Bowl appearance. Chargers have made 1 Super Bowl appearance that I remember. It cost Lanny a little money. The Falcons have been to the Super Bowl twice.
Yeah, they lost to Denver and obviously New England.
28-3 is what comes to mind. The Cardinals have made it 1 time.
Yeah, lost to Pittsburgh, one of the greatest.
One of the better games ever. One of the better Super Bowl games ever it was. Titans.
Yeah.
Lost to the Rams on, tackled at the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
The game ended with the go-ahead touchdown, the guy, or maybe the tying touchdown, tackled at the 1-yard line. And you're going to know the answer to this last one, the Buffalo Bills.
4 times.
In a row.
4 times in a row.
4 times all in a row.
It got worse each time, didn't it?
So which is the best organization, and we are going to take a break, which is the best organization in the NFL that still does not
looking
have
for their first one?
Yeah. Which one would you say is
for consistency, I might say Minnesota.
I would go that's the one that popped in my mind. Because when you go and look at all-time winning percentage, they're like 5th on the list.
Yeah, well,
You know? But they are to me that is number 1, and if I had to pick number 2 organizations to not Buffalo probably.
Buffalo or Cincinnati would be. And Cincinnati's had some really bad years.
Well, you know, the thing about Buffalo's always been in my lifetime, they're in first place or they're in last.
Yeah.
They're hardly ever a mediocre team going into the season. Although the last couple of years, I mean, they've been second fiddle to New England till last year when they just ran away with the division race.
Yeah, look how many times Minnesota didn't Randall Cunningham, didn't he quarterback the Vikings one year and they were like 15-1 or something?
I don't know if that was Cunningham's year or not when they went 15-1, but I do know this. I was thinking like it was Dante Culpepper, but I may be wrong.
Well, the year they lost to the Falcons in the NFC Championship, that was Culpepper.
Yeah, that's what.
But I don't know what the record was.
It was 15-1.
Was it?
It was 15-1, and the kicker who hadn't missed a field goal all year, Gary Anderson, missed.
Well, now also
at the
end. Brett Favre, he was with them one year.
Yeah, but Mike, if you want to talk about the Vikings and all the Super Bowls, it was 4 for Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, it was.
I'm pretty sure he was there for all 4.
There for all 4.
All 4 of those losses.
Yeah,
and they lost
in
to
the
Pittsburgh twice.
Oakland once.
Seemed like they lost to Kansas City.
Miami.
Kansas City.
Miami. I remember it in my head. I can go back and remember stuff. I just can't remember what happened last night.
Man, Miami and Minnesota, what a weird
Lenny
Super
said
Bowl
Vikings.
matchup.
And I'm sorry, Lenny, I just now noticed that. I don't know which category that fell into. But, yeah, I know what it is. The best franchise
never to win one.
Without a Super Bowl win, that has to be what that is. Let's take a time out. There's more NFL trivia coming up because this is good topics, and
we're timely
closing in.
We are
on that
finally
season. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Welcome. Oh, there we go. Welcome back to Sports Talk. Lovely Saturday morning. Little nip in the air out there this morning. No humidity.
66 degrees.
Don't get used to it, though, because
No,
we are
course
just
not.
in mid-August. So we've got some, I'm sure we've got some mid-90s and up. Hopefully not up, but yet to go, because we got another month and a half of summer. Basically.
I've always, to me, I link September with summer anymore.
Well, fall doesn't officially begin till we're
September
2/3 of
21st.
the way in
Yeah.
September. So just don't want that October heat that we had 2 years ago. When I get to October,
I'd like to
at
have
least let me
crisp evenings if I can. Right?
Yes. 100%. So,
But by the time it gets to October, the high school season is what? 2/3 over? Just about.
yeah. Oh, it flies
That's
by.
what I've always wondered. I mean, you finally get to football weather in October.
Listen, it ends in October. Yeah, it just depends on the way the calendar falls. But yes, I think it ends on like October the 30th or 31st.
You always have one in November.
Yep, you did.
That's right.
I think last year fell that way too for some reason. You know, they did shorten the season by a game, and to try and get finished a little bit early. Well, I say they shortened the regular season by a game, but
Yeah.
you have to win an extra playoff game to win.
You got to win what?
Six to
Climbing
win
that mountain.
state championships. While we're on the subject of NFL, and I love the feedback and the folks participating this morning trying to guess. That's cool. I'm gonna go another out here. While we're on NFL, and it's just down the road, the start of the season. Can you name me, and this is only in the Super Bowl era, so you know what that means, Mike Powell, since 1967? Is that right?
Or
Mike?
6.
Yeah. Oh, my. Now okay. Is
I
that
think
going to make a
it's
difference
6.
in your answer?
I think it's 6.
I think 1966 was when the first Super Bowl was played.
That's right.
Was it
So it's
66?
the 65-66
And that was when they
season.
played before wasn't it played before January 1st or not?
I don't think so.
Was it played in January? Always.
It was-
I was
been in
thinking
January,
early
February.
66 was the first Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the
Okay.
65, it was a
65 season. Okay. I'll go with that.
I don't know.
It's really not going to affect my question much either way as to when.
Because I do know that the Broadway Joe and New York Jets upset of Baltimore was the 3rd Super Bowl.
Tell me the top 5 winning franchises by winning percentage in the Super Bowl
Era?
era.
Let me clear this up first. It was January 1967 was the first
I
Super
thought
Bowl.
it was 67.
So it was
Okay,
a
I stand
66,
corrected.
Leave me
67.
alone on the NFL
Okay,
trivia.
Okay.
It's not fair to try and tackle me in
No,
NFL
on
trivia.
NFL trivia. I'll save mine for music and college basketball.
Where was it?
and College football and
It's in Los Angeles at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
There you go. Did you hear that one, Mike? Where was it? Bam.
What was the attendance?
Oh, well, let's see. 68,943.
Well, you got within 10. It was
10?
10,000. Almost
78.
62.
62, okay. The next year I want to say was in Miami. Did they go to Miami the next year when they beat the Raiders?
I don't know. Let's get back to
okay,
yours.
I thought you had the list there. You're
No.
just looking at Super Bowl I. Information on Super Bowl I. Lanny, you have a visitor. I think. But yeah, let's name me those top 5 franchises in the Super Bowl era.
Pittsburgh.
Number 2,
Dallas.
number 1, and it is close. Dallas has won
San
50.
Fran.
Let me finish, and no, I'll go ahead and tell you no, they're not in the top 5.
Oh.
Dallas has a 594 winning percentage, while the Steelers are at 590. So that is your top 2.
Green Bay.
Number 6 just missed the list. No, Green Bay just misses the list at number 6 in winning percentage. Now they have the most wins all time,
Yeah.
but Mike and I remember, and Brett don't. Green Bay, from the Lombardi era to the Mike Holmgren era,
Struggled.
very mediocre at best.
Well, I know it's been
Usually a
more,
bottom
I
dweller.
know it's been in the 21st century, but I got to go Patriots in the top 5.
And you're bingo. You are. Just think about what they've done though.
Yeah, in the 21st century.
In the last 20,
Oh, yeah. A
20
lot
years.
of 13-3, 12-4.
They are actually 3rd on that list in winning percentage in the Super Bowl era. And there was a time when I was growing up, and you too, Mike, they were an afterthought. They were just they were nothing. I mean, it was just somebody filling a spot.
All I remember is they were fodder for the Bears in the Super 85.
They
the
were.
85 Bears in the Super Bowl.
What have they played in now? How many have they played in, the Patriots? 9?
Was it
10? Yeah. I mean, okay, how many of the Patriots won? 6? Yes, they won 6. So they lost to the Bears, lost to the Giants, lost to the Giants, lost to the Eagles.
Yeah, 6-4.
So there you go. At number 4 in the best winning percentage since in the Super Bowl era, and at number 5, what if a franchise moves?
Do you just count their current city?
It depends on whether or not they kept the name. You know what I'm saying? If the Colts moved,
Yeah.
and it stayed the Colts, that's the same franchise. If you're talking,
I'm thinking about Baltimore, the Ravens.
It is the Ravens at number 4.
You don't count their
That's
time
only
in Cleveland.
counted. That's only counted since they started up
Yeah.
in Baltimore because that became a new franchise because Cleveland kept the name.
That's
So,
right.
so yes, Baltimore is 4th all time in winning percentage in the Super Bowl era, even though they didn't come into the league till when?
90s?
90s.
Was it in the 90s? And there's one more, number 5. Mike, you mentioned San Francisco. They're at number 9,
God.
all-time winning percentage.
Hmm.
I even mentioned this earlier that I think they're in the top
Denver.
5 of all-time winning percentage. And
Denver?
you guys have already forgot what I said because we were discussing this team that had never won a Super Bowl.
Minnesota.
Yep,
Okay.
5th all-time. 5th winning percentage. Fifth best winning percentage, yet no championships for
That's
Minnesota.
frustrating.
And that says a lot.
Ahead of Green Bay.
One spot, 557, 554.
That's surprising that
Hey,
they're
where's
ahead of
Denver
Green Bay.
in that since the Super Bowl era?
Denver is at number 8.
Okay.
Don't want to give you many more, but to round out the top 10,
Well, who's
San
at 7? We
Francisco's
hadn't
9.
said 7.
7 is Miami. Shula, just think those years. If you go back and look at Shula's record, he won 10 games or more like his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he won 10 games or more every season. Every season, it seemed like.
Wasn't that back when they didn't play the 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was even doing it then, too. Kansas City is your number 10, but here's your next part of this question. Worst 5 winning percentages
Since the dawn of the Super Bowl
all
era.
time. Who are the worst 5? That should be easier than the top. That really should be easier than the top.
Well, Detroit Lions have to be in there.
Number 31 out of 32. Detroit. 31 out of 32.
Jacksonville.
Number 30 out of 32.
I'd say the Panthers are in the 20s.
The Panthers come in winning percentage.
They can't be bottom 5.
Of number 20.
Yeah.
Number 20. Not
They've
bad.
they've had as many good years as bad years.
Yeah, they have a good year, then a bad year, but they've never been able to put together 2 consistently good years.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys should get them. I mean, you only got
Cleveland.
Cleveland, of course.
Cleveland, of course. Now, Mike's throwing in the of course. Cleveland is number 28, so they fall into that bottom 5 category.
Mm-hmm.
Number 28. So you've got 28, 31, and 30. No, you hadn't got 32. 28, 30, and 31 you have named. One of them's relatively new. One in the bottom 5, and one of them has been around a long time, and you don't look at them that way anymore. Houston, you got that's perfect. Houston's at number 29, and the worst winning percentage all time in Super Bowl era is the Super Bowl contender right now. Just remember this part. I'm in favor of it.
You're in favor of it.
That's a quote. I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, I remember the quote. I can't remember who said it. About your team's
Tampa Bay.
execution.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, worst winning
I'm
percentage.
in favor of executing my team, said.
And see, I never took
yes.
it. I
McKay.
don't take it that way.
You don't take it what way?
I thought he was just in favor
Well,
of his
that's
team.
what's so great
of
about
his team executing.
See, that's what's so great about the quote because you don't know which one he meant. I'm serious.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that he wanted them executed,
I
or the
think it
fact
was.
that he wanted them to execute.
I
But
think
what
it
the-
was the former.
The greatest part of the quote is which one did he mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I think when these people tell it on air and laugh about it, that that's what they're getting at too. Which one did he mean?
Yeah. that's
Maybe he
true.
meant both.
yeah.
I think he
Maybe it
he
hit him in a
certainly-
way that
he
maybe
certainly meant the one.
Yeah, but that
And what coach was it?
John McKay,
John McKay, who
who gave
Southern
up
Cal was he at Southern Cal?
gave up a successful run at Southern Cal to do that, to take on the Tampa at Bay Buccaneers.
And not Lanny, but Lenny. Lenny did get the correct answer on the Tampa Bay. I just wanted you guys to guess, but Lenny came up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got to remember they
even though they've won 2 Super Bowls.
Yep. Well, they went 0-16 their first year.
Yeah.
And it was a long time in that.
Now, when did they come along? 70s?
76.
yeah.
Seattle and Tampa, I think, in 76
Remember
came
those
in
orange,
together.
orange sherbet uniforms?
Yeah, that's what I was going to go with.
They really struck fear in the hearts of
and the
NFL
pirate with
opponents.
the original Buccaneer had the sword in his mouth, didn't he? And
Yeah. I like the logo.
yeah. Well,
where's Washington ranked?
they should go with that logo, but go with the new colors. Well, we gave the top 10. Number 11 is the Raiders, 12 is the Colts, 13 is the Rams, 14 the Seahawks, 15 tied at 15 are Washington and Philadelphia, both 51%. They won 51%
I
of the
was
games.
going to ask if it was over 50%.
That's the dividing line. That's the end of the winners all time. Then comes Tennessee. Now Tennessee, Brett, does include the Oilers, okay? Because that's the same. You asked that about that, or you or Mike one asked me about that. But Tennessee, it don't say that on here, but it would include the Oilers because that was one franchise that just changed names when they moved, and the Oilers they didn't want, for some reason. If I would have been Houston and I started a team back, we would have been the Oilers because that was great. Great name, great uniforms, great tradition playing in the Astrodome. The Chargers kind of surprised me, guys, that they're at they're tied at 18 with the Bears at 483 winning percentage.
That high. Middle of the pack. Well, better than middle. No, middle of the.
Just right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
A little bit below the line, but
Yeah,
you
the
got
Bears, that's just sad.
It
that
is.
The Bears are under
It is.
500.
That is
Because that's a Bears city.
Here's you another. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Here's you another question. Then is that the all-time? If you had a most disappointing franchise in any sport, the Bears have to be top 5.
Yeah, based on their fan support and just what you think of when you think of the
winning championships.
One of the oldest
before the Super Bowl came along, but
franchises.
they've only won one Super Bowl since, and they've been to a couple. They lost to the Colts one year.
Are they the oldest? Them, the Giants, the Packers?
Well, it'd be, I think the Bears are the oldest, and in Green Bay. And then probably the Giants are probably next after that. And you notice I hadn't got to the Giants yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's surprising.
New Orleans, who was so bad during their
But at least the
early
Giants
days.
have won, 4 Super Bowls?
They have. Yep.
Yeah. So that's something the Bears hadn't
Oh,
come
sniffed.
close to. They got 1.
The Saints, 468.
Yeah,
is
the
their
Saints were
winning percentage.
awful for a long
The
time.
first 20 years.
Yeah.
So they've really been really good. They would probably be top 10 in the last 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But
once Drew Brees.
the Drew Brees era, yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were good. But all those years when the fans wore paper bags over their heads, the
that was
Aints,
great stuff.
not the Saints.
Yeah, when I was
The
growing
Aints.
up, the
Remember the
Saints were.
Aints?
The
I mean, they
Took
were
the S out.
worse than Detroit on a regular basis.
That's why it was so great to see them win a Super Bowl. when
Yeah,
they did.
and that was post Katrina as well.
Not Post Malone.
Yeah, post Malone.
After the Giants are at number tied for 21st with New Orleans at
That's not very
468.
good.
Then comes Buffalo, Cincinnati, the New York Jets, 25th.
Yeah.
You would have thought they would have been further down than that.
I know.
Atlanta and not St. Louis. Atlanta and Arizona. Wrong Cardinals. Atlanta and Arizona Atlanta's 438, Arizona's 437. And then comes those bottom 5, Cleveland, Houston, Jacksonville, Detroit, and Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay's 402. That is the all-time worst.
And Jacksonville's saying, just give us time. We'll get there.
But just think about,
Them and Tampa will
just a couple more years.
flip-flop.
They're going to meet each other in the Super Bowl. You're talking about get to the bottom.
Yeah.
Jacksonville says, give us time, we'll get to the bottom. Well, if Brady stays another 5 or 6 years in Tampa, then that will change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not sure he stays another 5 or 6, but So, but the good news about this is the parity. It all goes from 40% to 59. You know, from the best to the worst is 59 to 40%. So that's what I like about
NFL.
The NFL. And even though you're the worst franchise, everybody's got a chance because Tampa with the all-time worst record.
I wonder what Dallas was 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Oh, since they became.
If you just took the
After they
first,
became-
like from the first Super Bowl up until 2000, the year 2000.
Well, they were probably over 60% at one
well,
time.
I mean, I would think they were at 70%.
Yeah. Well, we talked about teams that were awful in the beginning. Pittsburgh was one of those. It was before the Bradshaw era and Chuck Noll came along.
Mm-hmm.
They were the worst franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to climb out of that. But now they've been the most consistent franchise since those guys came along.
I would have thought they were number one.
Right.
What did you say the difference was?
594, 590.
Okay.
So I don't know how many wins that. Well, Pittsburgh's been around longer than Dallas.
Yeah, but you're still just going from Super Bowl one.
Well, that's true. Yeah, they've been around the same time.
Yeah,
the same amount of time. When you look at it that way. So, yep. If you were a youngster growing up today, though, the two you would be surprised by in the top 10, obviously Miami, because if you're even 20 years old right now, you don't remember Miami being good.
Mm-hmm.
Made the playoffs a couple times, but
I don't think you're that shocked
relevant.
by Minnesota because Minnesota probably makes the playoffs more often.
Yeah, they
than
still don't have any really bad years.
No.
They're usually at least around 500.
Yep. And then, I guess the biggest turnaround for me in my lifetime is the New England Patriots. Going from
when I was a kid, they weren't any
as,
good.
as Mike would say, an also ran, going from an also ran to, in the last 25 years, easily the best franchise.
Yeah.
In the NFL. I heard a great stat yesterday.
When was Brady drafted? 01?
Well, that's funny you brought that up because that's gonna Calvin Jones. Have you guys heard the stat of the week on Calvin Jones?
I don't even know Calvin Jones.
Johnson, I'm sorry.
Oh, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah. I said Calvin Johnson. Okay. When he began playing high school football, Tom Brady was playing for the Patriots.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You got that, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
When he began playing high school football, Tom Brady was with the Patriots. In his college years, Tom Brady was with the Patriots. In his NFL years, Tom Brady was playing in NFL with the Patriots. He retired. Tom Brady's still in the NFL, and now he's a Hall of Famer, and Tom Brady is still in the NFL.
Yeah, that's I know.
So from the time he started, and I don't know what we're going to do with Mike
So
and
he
his
played
sleeping during
high school, college, NFL.
down that coffee, Mike.
Waited 5 years, made the Hall of Fame,
And
Tom
Brady's
Brady's still playing.
Yeah. So when Calvin's son, if he has one, I want to know if Brady.
He don't even have one yet.
Yeah, he does not have a son yet. But when his son retires from the NFL, which team will Brady be with? That's your trivia question. Which franchise will he be playing for?
I think I read that he's taken the week off, just no injury or anything, just
he's leaving
cooling
the
out
team.
with his family.
I heard his mom's not doing well.
Is that
and that's
what it
why
is?
he's taking this time off.
Yep.
That it was pre-planned to have some family time.
I'll just about bet you taking a little time off will not affect Tom Brady's play.
No.
If anything, it may help it because just at his 45 and still quarterback in the NFL.
And he wasn't going to
needs
play
a little rest.
preseason anyway.
Right.
He probably doesn't really need any reps in practice.
What week do you think that Gronk will rejoin the?
Or do you think he will? Maybe
I don't think he will this time.
You don't?
I think they got plenty of talent at tight end, receiver. They don't need him, I don't think.
If he does join the team, I'm going to say at the latest date you can join and still play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That's what because he's all about.
It's all about those playoffs.
Well, I was going to say Lombardi Trophy in one hand and a big beer in the other.
Yeah.
and or two.
Yeah, he wants to play as little as possible and win a Super
That's
Bowl.
right.
Super
That's
Bowl.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, who doesn't? Right? That's the way I would do it. Just join up with them at the last moment that you can still play in the playoffs.
It's like these LIV tour golfers. They want to play less golf, make more money.
Yep. And there's not one person in the room that wants to work less, that
3
doesn't
days-
want to
yeah,
work
you
less.
only have to play
and make more.
3 days rather than 4 with
Say,
the PGA.
Let's do this even. You cut my hours in half and double my pay, and we got a deal. That's what the NFL's all about these days. Cut my hours in half.
Well, was it Mark
double my
Packer
pay.
always said the ultimate job is to not have to work but get paid? Yeah. So,
Bobby Bonilla.
yeah.
Always comes to mind. It's time for another time out. Appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk. Back here in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
there we go. Second half coming up. Sports talk on a beautiful Saturday morning. Oh man, going through some of this. I'm gonna get into some other topics here. Let's see. Lenny says owner Hugh Culverhouse lured John McKay away from Southern Cal for a big payday.
Right.
For a long time, he's talking about New Orleans now. They were the Aints. And yes, they were. They were the Aints. They took the S off, painted, put it on the paper bag that sat on top of their head. You guys mentioned something a while ago because you said how many playoff wins do the Detroit Lions have in the history? And, you know, Detroit is a very old franchise too. Now, this is just in the Super Bowl era, so it makes everybody even, except for the second worst team in playoff wins. That Super Bowl era really doesn't apply to them. And they have 3 more wins in the playoffs than the Lions, no longer than they've been around. Who would that be? Lions only have 1 all-time. This team has 4.
This team is 4.
And I don't, honestly.
What'd you say? They're the second fewest?
Yeah, second fewest, even though they've only been around 25 years, maybe 20 years.
Who, Jacksonville?
No, Jacksonville has 7 playoff wins. 7 playoff wins.
Well, them and Carolina
For the
came in at the
Jacks.
same time, right?
Yeah.
Carolina's got, how many they got?
Carolina in playoff wins. The Panthers
got about 10?
have 9.
9?
You're right on it. Yeah, 1 less than the Bears. 1 less playoff win than the Chicago Bears, who have been around since 1776.
And what about Houston?
That's it.
Okay.
That's the one I'm looking for. Yeah, the Texans are the newest. Are they the newest organization? They are, right? Newest franchise?
Yeah, because other ones have
Nobody's
just moved.
Yeah. Yeah, they have 4 playoff wins. And I was going to give you what was the big receiver they had that was so good for
Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson. You know, I'm sure that he was probably involved in maybe all 4 of those playoff wins. I don't know that for a fact, but 2 teams have won 36 playoff games. 36 playoff games. Another has won 35, 34. Then it drops to 29. There's kind of a line after those top 4. But
Pittsburgh,
and you're naming the top ones right now. Pittsburgh 36, and this other franchise has 36 playoff wins.
Dallas
35. 1 short for Dallas. Now, I will tell you this, okay? Think of this way. There's more playoff games now than there was at the beginning of the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm thinking New
era.
England always has a bye. They wouldn't have 36
That's
wins.
it. Yes, they would.
They do.
They
Okay.
would. Not only would they do, yeah. New England and Pittsburgh have 36 playoff wins. Dallas has 35, and next is 34. Mike, you can use your answer now that you've been using on every single category as to who has 34 playoff wins. You have mentioned this team over and over, and
Over and over.
yeah, a couple times you've mentioned them this morning. I said, nope, they're not there. They were number 9. And nope, they weren't there. But they are in the top 4 right here. Only 2 playoff wins separate this team from the top guys.
They might pass them this year.
Yes, they could. They could.
49ers.
Yes, because it's doubtful. To
I
me,
don't think Pittsburgh's making the playoffs.
well, and New England. I don't know if
New England can make it. I
but
doubt
not
they-
get a
I doubt
playoff
they
win.
again,
but not
yeah.
get a playoff win. San Francisco and Dallas, I think, are both sitting. Dallas, especially, sitting pretty to maybe even things up with those guys because they've got 35. And you think if they,
Yeah.
But there are some people out there that say Dallas is not making the playoffs. Some of the guys, and then there's others that are saying they're going to make a Super Bowl run. But San Francisco, and then you got the gap. So who's next? Who's number 5? And they have 29 playoff wins.
Giants?
Giants have 20.
I'm just going off that they've won 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah. Well, this team has won 4. That'll help you. If I've got my count right, they've won 4.
Packers.
Yep.
Yep.
There you go, Mike Powell.
Yeah.
Jumping in on the action.
Yeah,
They've
they've won 4.
The Green Bay Packers. And then just to tell you some more, the Raiders, believe it or not, have 25. The Broncos and the Rams have 23. The Vikings, here we go with them again. Vikings and Colts both have 21. The Dolphins, Redskins, I'm calling them the Redskins, and the New York Football Giants with 20.
Well, I don't think they have a win since they've not been the Redskins. So
a win period? Or?
Yeah, not many.
Eagles with 19. Even the Seahawks, who came into the league in 76, they have 17. Kansas City was 16, as is Baltimore. Then Buffalo, Tennessee. Jets, 12 playoff wins. Chargers, Bucks, 11. Saints and Falcons with 10, along with the Bears with 10. Panthers, 9. Bengals, 8. The Browns and the Jags have 7. The Cardinals have 6. The Texans, 4. And the Lions.
So the Bengals have been to 3 Super Bowls and only have 8 playoff wins.
That must be all of them.
Yeah.
That must be,
time.
7 of them, I bet. Probably 3, 2, and 2. Did they win 3 last year? They did, didn't they?
Yeah, they were
So 3, 2, and 2 would be 7.
Wild card
So they
round.
only have one playoff win that didn't get them. You get them in the playoffs, they got a pretty good chance. A pretty good chance of getting to the Super Bowl. But yeah, who's more likely to get back this year?
Oh, the Rams.
Bengals or Rams?
I say the Rams.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is there a reason? Do you think they're just a better team, or do you think that?
I think they're a better team. I thought the Bengals were a little bit of a fluke.
Do you? You know, we got a couple of loyal listeners getting ready to send you a text.
I think they're a good team, but I don't think they're better than Kansas City or Buffalo.
They won. You know, they beat the Raiders in the first round by just like a touchdown by 7. But you know, I mean, that's all you got to win by. You don't even have to win by 1. But they just knew how to win close games last year, and Burrow just didn't make many mistakes in that run to get them to the Super Bowl. So you think that the Rams?
And I wouldn't pick the Rams to be
No,
there, but I would just say they're more likely.
I don't know how many
Cincinnati.
teams I would ever pick to repeat well, I'm more likely to pick them to repeat in other sports than I am in the NFL, but the NFL has so much parity and so much change from year to year that I don't know of any NFL team I would pick.
In 1992, it was Detroit 38, Dallas 6. Detroit's only playoff win.
And it was that bad.
Super Bowl
Now
era.
tell me the year again.
92 playoffs. It was a 91-92
That was
season.
right before Dallas hit their stride, right? Right before, or not?
Yeah.
When Dallas with Jimmy Johnson and crew.
I think they won the next 2 Super Bowls after that.
Yeah. Yep. And we know they beat Buffalo twice in that span, and Pittsburgh,
And then they beat
I think,
Pittsburgh
was
a couple years later.
The other. Yeah, that I don't know. A little surprising there that that score was that lopsided, and I don't remember it. You know what I mean? Usually if the Cowboys are always just about always competitive, and in my lifetime, just about always been in the playoffs, except for maybe a 15-year stretch there after Jimmy Johnson was gone. But
So the Lions are 1-9 in playoff games. Oh no, that's not right.
1-9 in playoff.
1-12.
1-12 in playoff
Since in the Super Bowl era.
All right, let's shift gears here just a little bit.
They lost 5-0.
What? Not in the Super Bowl era. Surely not.
1970. Dallas 5, Detroit 0.
Verlander get the loss. For he was. At one time
somebody pitched a shutout.
Here's the sad part for Detroit sports. Is it worse that the Lions have been one of the bottom franchises forever, or that the Tigers once had Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander as their top two starters, and
let them get away?
Yep. That's pretty sad too, isn't it? I've got scores from last night. In high school football. And I'm guessing this is where there were jamboree types, and they've got some scores to report. And the first one I see is very interesting to me. Wasn't Kings Mountain ranked very high in the Max Preps coming in to
well, they always are.
Lost last night to Monroe, 21-20.
Ooh.
And I'm guessing that was at the Cleveland County Jamboree.
Yeah.
Right.
If this is correct, I'm looking, and I got the date right and all that kind of stuff. I do believe these are scores that were posted last night in that jamboree. But I've been wrong before. East Duplin and Topsail played 10-3 East Duplin. Mooresville 7-3 over North Mac. Let's see, Hoggard fell to J.H. Rose 20-7. On my thing here, it's saying this was yesterday. Burns beat Cox Mill. I'm guessing, that's got to be the – I don't even know where it was, Brett. Did we ever find out where the Cleveland Jamboree was played?
We never did.
Last night, 12-7 Burns.
We know it wasn't
over
Shelby.
Cox Mill.
At Shelby.
Yeah, I do not know that.
Some guys in the press
don't
box
know that.
thought
No,
it was at Burns, but according to this, it looks like the last game was Kings Mountain and Monroe. So wouldn't you think it was at Kings Mountain?
Kings Mountain. Yep.
You would think that the home team would play last. South Brunswick 38-21 over South Columbus. Laney 38-18 over Havelock. You don't see Havelock on the losing end very much, and especially in a 20-point contest. Pisgah over East Wilkes 12-6. I'm at a loss for words.
What?
I'm at a loss for words on my next score. Greensboro Grimsley over R.J. Reynolds last night. Misprint or not, 84-0.
In a half of football? No way.
That's what the scoreboard's
Unless
got.
it was a four-quarter scrimmage.
Dudley,
Misprint.
that wouldn't have shocked me as much if I saw that was
84?
Dudley, but Grimsley, that's what it says, 84-0.
Oh.
I just don't know. I don't know. Now here's Pisgah playing T.C. Roberson again. So that was Wednesday. Okay, now I'm on Wednesday. T.C. Roberson beat Pisgah 30-12. Grimsley beat Glenn on Wednesday 48-0.
Wow.
The Whirlies.
Grimsley, they went 11-1 last year.
Yeah.
Lost to Porter Ridge in the playoffs, second round of the playoffs.
Is a team that loaded they could score 84? I mean, they had to score every snap.
Yeah.
They had to score every snap they took.
They averaged about 45 points a game last year. But I don't know, 84. I mean, why would you?
Why would you do
It seems
that?
like you just turned the scoreboard off.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know, and then to post that, I mean, wouldn't you just pick a stopping point when it got over 40?
What school was that they were playing?
Let's see, 84-0 over R.J. Reynolds. Another Winston school.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know if that's now that's on Score Stream. That's not on Max Preps.
Yeah.
So bear with me. That's on Score Stream. Now, let me ask you this: isn't Score Stream put in by people like
that are at the game?
fans at the game?
Well,
R.J. Reynolds
you got to
went
wonder about that.
2-8 last year. So I mean, that probably would be a really lopsided matchup.
Yeah,
But-
I believe that.
Yeah, I don't.
What are you doing Thursday night? Thursday night?
Thursday night, I usually play trivia. What
Are
are you
you?
doing?
Well, once I look at the football schedule, I might drive to Huntersville.
No.
Huff High is hosting Dutch Fork.
Wow.
What a matchup to kick off the
matchup.
what a matchup to kick off the 2022
season.
football season.
Yeah.
Dutch Fork, perennial power, head coach Tommy Knotts down in South Carolina, and Huff, I want to say probably ranked number 1 in the, or at least in the top 5 in the 4A in North Carolina. Hooking up on the first night. It says 7 o'clock. There will be a crowd, I'm sure, gathering down at Huff High for that matchup. Also on the same night, Mallard Creek will be at Myers Park. That's Thursday. So you got a couple of Mecklenburg matchups there, whether it's an all-Mecklenburg or an out-of-state matchup with South Carolina that might be worth attending. Just to flip through here and see what's going to take place on Friday night. You guys got the Max Prep schedule pulled up for next Friday night. I'll be at West Lincoln. West Lincoln and North Lincoln will hook up in the season opener once again. And yes, it is at West Lincoln for the second straight year. North Lincoln is having turf put down, and it's not going to be ready by Friday. I can promise you that. I think Brett's going to go watch Father Capodanno at Pungo Christian Academy. And Father better be quick. I have never heard of either one of those two schools, but that is your first game listed, and it's starting at 5 o'clock, Brett. So you could see a doubleheader if you take off and leave.
Where's that one being played?
At Pungo. What did you think?
Got to see where that school is.
Which one?
Pungo Christian.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know where either one of them were. Father Capodanno.
Belhaven, North Carolina.
You see those,
Pungo
Mike
Christian.
Powell? Are you looking at those games with me, Mike
Getting
Powell?
ready to pull them up.
Oh, the Raiders. Pungo Christian Raiders.
Yeah. Not the Angels.
And Father Capodanno is in Vass.
Vass.
V-A-S-S.
I've heard of Vass. I think that's down east,
Vass and Belhaven.
but I may be wrong. Vass and Belhaven. Oh, man. That's some unfamiliar names. D.H. Conley visits Wilmington Laney in the season opener. New Hanover's going to New Bern. There's a Baylor on here. How about that? And that's got to be a North Carolina school because Rabun Gap is not. That's Tennessee or Georgia, one or the other, isn't it? Rabun Gap. Southview goes to Overhill, Southeast Halifax at Nash Central, Reedsville, and Western Alamance. Now that is a good matchup to start the season. Those two are perennial playoff teams, and if you're in that area, that should be a good matchup to see.
Last year, let's see, Reedsville won 35-14.
35-14.
Yeah.
And then we saw what Shelby
Well, Western
did to
Alamance
Reedsville.
only went 4-6 last year.
They're usually better than that.
Yeah.
Eastern and Western are usually pretty good. Burlington Cummings at Burlington Williams, and did we not see Cummings take a major step last year toward getting better?
Much better.
Yep, that's a one-time powerhouse in high school football. Burlington Cummings and
9-2-1
down
last year.
down for a while. I wonder who knocked them out of the playoffs.
Washington.
Did they?
48-40.
Yeah, 48-40. How'd you like to score 40 in the playoffs and still go home?
Their loss.
Wouldn't be
let's
fun.
see. Losses were to Eastern Alamance and Washington last year. Only 2 losses.
Eastern Alamance, which Cummings is in Alamance County as well. They open up with Williams on the road, city rivalry right there. Hunt and J.H. Rose, Battle of Greenville. Or that's Wilson Hunt, by the way, and J.H. Rose. Marvin Ridge at Monroe. Those two teams are ranked 10th and 18th, respectively, here on the Max Preps screen. And I'm guessing that means overall ranking in the state of North Carolina. Would you not think so, Brett? I don't think Monroe would be 18th in 2A.
No, that's probably their overall.
Westover at Southern Lee, Ravenscroft at Granville Central, South Lake Christian at Lake Norman Charter, Green Level at Sanderson, Northern Durham at Scotland. Now that's a trip. Just joking. Forest Hills at Piedmont, Porter Ridge, Rocky River, Hobton and Midway, Southside at North Duplin. You see that Southside logo? They got the Seahawks logo. it looks just like identical to the Seattle Seahawks logo on there. Number 22, Panther Creek. At number 13, Durham Hillside. That one is this coming Friday night. Bertie at Northeastern. Northwest Guilford at East Forsyth. East Forsyth number 3. And that would make sense, right, Brett? Because they are a 4A perennial playoff, perennial state champion contender as well as East Forsyth. We saw them win a state championship or two, haven't we?
Yeah.
In person. Who did they beat a couple years ago was it the private school out of Raleigh? I can't think of the name of it right now.
Cardinal Gibbons.
Is that who they beat when we saw them play?
I think they lost that game.
Oh, did they?
I think they had won it maybe the year before.
Okay. 71st is at E.E. Smith. That's a Fayetteville 71st. South Rowan at Parkland. The Cabarrus Stallions at Anson County. Jordan at Triton. And I have been by Triton High School now. I can say that. Terry Sanford at Glenn. South Central at Kinston. Green Central at North Lenore. Holly Springs and Heritage. East Duplin visits Dixon High. Southern Wayne at Eastern Wayne. Southern Durham at number 25, Wake Forest. Getting into some Western teams here now. Mitchell taking on Irwin. West Charlotte at Butler. What's going on at West Charlotte? Been in the news a lot here lately. And
coach suspended with pay.
There you go. There's one of those, no work.
No work.
Get paid.
You can't beat it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know exactly. They had to forfeit their season, didn't they, because the recruitment of ineligible players, or
maybe wonder if they had to forfeit their season because one of their guys left and went and played at Vance or Chambers.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be why. I'm just joking. But that was the most well-known player. He had left that program and went to play for Chambers. So it caused Chambers to forfeit some games too, did it not, Brett? Didn't we see that? Chambers.
Well, this just happened like during the first week of practice. So West Charlotte's players are just, what's going on?
I thought it was something like a Chambers kid tried to go back to West Charlotte, and they stopped him. I can't remember.
That could be it.
I can't remember exactly.
Wasn't it their top running back? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Chambers'
it was
top
one of their
running back?
star players.
Yeah.
That was involved. Whatever I don't remember the exact details, but it was definitely those two schools, West Charlotte and Chambers, and it was one of the really good players.
So West
Chambers.
Charlotte visits Butler to open the season.
Smothers?
That
Is that
won't
his
be
name?
easy.
Jalen Smothers.
I do not know. East Chapel Hill is at Bunn. West Columbus is at Union. Green Hope is at Raleigh Broughton. Berry Academy at East Meck. Chapel Hill at Cedar Ridge. Riverside Martin at North Pitt. Northside Pinetown at Camden Academy. It is Rocky Mount traveling to Tarboro. That's a good season opening matchup. We know all about Tarboro. Jordan, Triton. That's the second time that one's on there. Maybe they're playing a doubleheader to open the season. Be too hot for that. Eastern Randolph at Eastern Alamance. Topsail at Heidi Trask. It is Palisades at West Mac. Unfamiliar with that one. St. Paul's at Metrolina Christian. Princeton at Smithville Selma. Apex at number 7 Raleigh Millbrook. West Carteret at West Craven. Western Harnett at South Johnston. North Wake at High Point Christian. Garinger at Harding. Jones High at South Lenore. R.J. Reynolds is at High Point Central. Swansboro at East Carteret. Franklinton at Corinth Holders. Number 24 Cuthbertson at Parkwood. Jacksonville at home against Southwest Onslow. Northside Jacksonville at Hogger. Did I say that one already? Manio at Perkleman's. Perkleman's, we know they played in the baseball title. They won the baseball championship, didn't they, over Cherryville? Is that not who it was, Mike?
Yeah, Perkleman's. Yeah, sure did.
Perquimans.
Perquimans, yeah.
I think that is what it is.
I always get that name confused.
Well, I heard, people saying it both ways.
Perquimans.
Yeah, the player was Dalen Smothers.
Dalen Smothers is the West Charlotte player.
He was moving
back home.
Originally from West Charlotte's district, had went to Chambers and was planning to move back in with his mother, who lives in West Charlotte's district. and was told he was suspended from athletics for 365 days.
365 rule. Well, that's most counties have that now. If you leave your school, go to another, when you go back,
he has offers
you have to set out
from
for you.
schools like Oklahoma, Alabama, Florida State, Michigan.
Wouldn't you hate to be missing out on that talent? So what's he going to do?
I don't know. This article was from June, so I don't know if he's
go back to
he
Chambers
could have
and
moved to
play?
another state to play. No, I don't think at this time in June when this article was written, he wasn't going to be allowed to play in North Carolina.
Lenny says he's going to Oklahoma, so he transferred back to West Charlotte and is currently ineligible. So,
just not playing.
Yep, currently ineligible.
Could not play public sports in North Carolina for the 22-23 school year.
Is that right?
So he could go to a private school or he could go to South Carolina if he has the resources to do one of those things. But
if he hires a lawyer, can he play public sports in North Carolina this upcoming season?
Well, since this came out in June, something's probably been done.
Right. One way or the other.
Yeah.
Yep,
but
just haven't.
But I don't know where he is or if he's playing.
Well, Lenny said he's currently ineligible, so maybe he's keeping up with up-to-date information on that young man. But my guess is he'll play football somewhere, even if it's south of the border, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Tijuana again either.
Not that south of the border.
I'm talking about South Carolina. Let's take our final time out. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll come back and round out these high school football matchups, tell you some of the locals when we come back.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back to Sports Talk, fourth quarter, final segment of the show this morning. David, Mike, and Brett, glad to be with you. 6 days, actually 5 days technically, till the start of the high school football season.
Yeah, because it's, Wednesday, Thursday?
5 days, be
5
Thursday.
days, be Thursday.
Or maybe I'm wrong. Mike's got me confused now.
I'm a ball
6
of
days.
confusion.
6 days will be Friday again, so we'll have a ton of games on Friday. Brett was giving a couple Cleveland County scores from last night in the jamboree that took place, we think, at Kings Mountain.
I'm pretty sure it was at Kings Mountain.
We're not 100% sure, but Kings
No,
Mountain.
I'm not 100% sure.
Kings Mountain played who in their matchup? And they lost, right,
Monroe.
by a point. Lost by a point, 21-20. I give that one earlier. But you had mentioned a couple of others. Crest over Newton Conover.
Yeah.
33-0.
Yeah.
And
Reagan
beat
beat
Shelby.
29-28.
Yeah, and that's the part that's what got us. They played a half of football, and there was 57 points
Yeah.
put on the board, 29-28, which tells you they went for two at the end, most likely.
Probably.
And
we know Shelby brought back a lot of their offensive
Offense,
stars.
yeah, not
they
so
lost
much on D,
their
but-
big
yep.
defensive linemen/linebackers.
well, they lost one to App and one to North Carolina. That were both very good.
Burns, let's see, Cox Mill beat Burns 7-6. And then, like you said, Monroe beat Kings Mountain. Was it 21?
I thought that other one was like 12-6 or something weird. Maybe.
Oh no, yeah,
13
Burns
or-
12-7.
12-7.
Burns won 12-7. So that was just a score at
An update,
one
okay.
time.
Yeah, Burns won
7-6.
12-7. I couldn't remember which team won, but I thought it was like
Yeah.
double digits for the winner.
78-yard touchdown pass with a minute and a half left for Burns.
Lenny goes back to talking about the Smothers kid at West Charlotte. Said West Charlotte having to forfeit games last season was not about Smothers. It was about other players, and it had to be, that were playing out of district. But the suspension of Coach Sam Griner this year was about player recruiting and may have something to do with Dalen Smothers. Maybe he tried to get him to come back to play, I think is what Lenny
There
said.
was also
There's
something
possibility.
about treatment of players added to that, as
Really?
I recall from the news report. But
Yeah, not sure about that. But appreciate the information there coming from.
It says Shelby
Lenny?
or Reagan scored on a blocked punt for a touchdown. And
So they block punts?
yeah, they played everything live like a real game.
Really?
Kicked off a block punt for a touchdown and an interception return for a touchdown.
Wow.
With two of Reagan's touchdowns.
Wow. Special teams and defense.
And then they had a
they
field
went
goal
all out on
blocked
special
as
teams.
time
You can't
expired.
blame the defense then for the so they blocked a Shelby field goal as time
As
expired.
time expired.
Yeah. Wonder how far that was. Shelby usually has a kicker that can kick it about 80 yards. It seems like. I don't understand that, but they do. They always have a really good kicking.
Now this Shelby poster says if the two teams met in a real game and the starters played the whole game, Shelby would beat them 56-16.
Oh, he's got it pinpointed to the number 56-16. Write that down. Of course, it's never happened.
Nah,
But write that down. That's a thought. Well, that's showing confidence in your team. I'll say that. Wanted to get back into some of next week's matchups. I don't know exactly where I got, but East Bladen, number 20, Wallace Rosehill, at number 20, Wallace Rosehill next week. Northwest Cabarrus, who we saw last night, Mike and Brett, will be at West Cabarrus, which is the second or third year school, Brett, in Cabarrus County. Haven't been around long at all.
No.
yeah, and I thought Northwest Cabarrus looked a lot better last year.
Yeah,
than
they
last
lost
night.
night.
They must have lost
they
a lot
some
of good
athletes.
players.
Yep, they did. Catawba County matchup to open the season next Friday night. Bandies will be at St. Stephen's. Davie County will be at Mooresville. Pasquotank at Northwest Halifax. East Wake, Southern Nash. Clinton at Goldsboro. Watauga at T.C. Roberson. Douglas Byrd at Red Springs. J.M. Robinson at Independence. James Keenan at Aiden Griffin. Croatan at Havelock. Washington at Pamlico County. Number 8 in the state of North Carolina, Weddington, will be on the road at number 19, Charlotte Christian.
Be a good one.
Should be a good matchup. We know what Weddington's had going on for the last 6-8 years. What a
A
run. they've
run.
made. Yes.
Are the run of Weddington and Catholic winning state titles over now that they're in just 4A?
It's going to be hard.
class?
It's going to be hard. I'll say that. I would.
It sounds like Chambers might fall from the top,
The
like
power.
those Charlotte teams do. You know, they
Yeah.
kind of come and go.
Yep.
Huff might be the new.
There's also some you have to deal with in the East too, though, like Wake Forest and Roseville are both good. That used to be
Yeah.
one school, now it's two, and they're both good.
And what about a school like Richmond? I mean, are they going to win a 4A title with it being just one?
Well,
4A
I
class?
thought they always competed in the bigger one anyway, when they were
Mm-hmm.
at their peak and winning titles. But that's a good question, Brad. I don't know. I mean, let's look at it this way.
And 4A is just so
It's
good
loaded
now. So
4A,
many good teams.
4A is loaded, and only one can win. Only
Yeah.
one can come out of there and be the state champion.
And you got the Forsyth schools.
Mm-hmm. West is always good. East, we know what East is even better as far as winning titles
Yeah.
over the last few years. It is loaded. I mean, yeah, it is loaded. I think that we look at the others, and I think the 3A and 2A are top heavy. I think
Look at Richmond Senior's first 3 non-conference games: Mount Tabor, Butler, Cardinal Gibbons.
Yeah, they're dodging bullets. They don't want to play anybody good. Oh man, if you're not ready,
They played those 3 last year, and they won 2 out of 3
yeah, probably lost to Gibbons.
by 8.
Yeah, by 8. So
And
they
then
were-
lost.
they were
That
in
was
it.
their only loss until the playoffs. They lost to Leesville Road.
Yep. Now, at one time, what was their longtime coach's name? Wasn't he a Barnes as well? Maybe the brother.
I don't know.
I think so. I think the brother, maybe the brother of this Crest coach we've been talking about, because didn't they coach at one time at Scotland and Richmond? And
Yeah, I don't know.
there were 2 big rivals. Now, somebody help me out on that, or did I dream that one night?
Their current head coach is Brian Till, T-I-L-L.
Okay.
But I don't know how long he's been there.
How long till he's gone? Is that what?
Till he's gone.
Till he's out the door. I don't know what kind of runs they've made in the playoffs the last few years.
Looks like
I've never been. I'd love to go to a game there. I'd like to go to a rivalry game there, maybe when they play Scotland or something like that, because the atmosphere there has to be one of the tops in the state. of
Yeah,
North
that
Carolina.
one and the Pisgah Tuscola would be
Yes,
2 good ones to see.
I just want to win the half and half at Pisgah Tuscola one time. The 30,000, 20,000, 20 to 30 as the giveaway part. Yeah, I'd like to be in on that one just once. Of course, then I get greedy and want to win it twice. South Mecca's at Charlotte Catholic. That may be the shortest trip
Yeah.
this week.
It was a half a mile.
In the first, Lenny says, wasn't it Mark Barnes? And then Scott Cloninger says, yes, the Barnes brothers did coach.
Yeah, Mark was the Crest coach, right? Mark Barnes.
Yeah, I think so. And then his brother was at Richmond County, if I'm not mistaken. His brother, not there anymore. We know that because you just read that the coach's name is Teal. And Rodney says, have you heard or do you have any predictions for local area high school football teams this season? Yes, they will be playing Friday.
We're going out on a limb.
Yeah, we don't give predictions. That don't do anything but
I'll take Shelby.
make people happy or piss people off. So you just don't give predictions in high
But
school.
is that necessarily bad to at least get people talking?
Yeah. All right, who won the state last year in all 4 classifications?
Cardinal Gibbons.
I'll take them again.
Take Shelby
Did
again.
Dudley win?
Dudley.
3A.
3A.
Shelby. And
Who won 1A?
It's amazing. Now, I was talking a minute ago because
did Tarboro win it? I can't remember.
That's a good question. What I was going to say is it's amazing because I think that 3A and 2A are so top heavy. You know who's going to be in the final 8. You know who's going to be in the final 4. I can't imagine that Maiden
Tarboro
and Shelby won't be in the
Tarboro beat Mitchell.
Some of the last rounds this year, but so Tarboro beat Mitchell in the finals. So,
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I'll take Tarboro.
Yeah.
Woo, shocker. I'll take Shelby. Woo, shocker. I'll take 3A. I'll go with Dudley again. If there's anything at all. Now 4A might be the most interesting because there's so many good teams. How can you pick just one? Is it Huff's time?
Yeah, and there's different areas that are, Charlotte and Raleigh.
When you get
and
there,
Winston-Salem
you got
all
the
have
Cardinal
really good
Gibbons,
teams.
you got Huff, you got Weddington and Catholic are going to make runs. I don't know if they can get all the way to the end, but they'll make a playoff
They'll
run.
be tough to put
That's
out.
right.
Somebody's going to have a tough time
That's right.
eliminating those teams.
But then you go to Rolesville and Wake Forest High, and it's just the 4A could be a number of different teams, but well, I guess what's sad about all that is the main ones we mentioned there were Catholic, Cardinal Gibbons, some of the private/public schools, however I don't know what category that falls into.
Elite.
Yeah, it does fall into elite. I have to give you that. How about this matchup week 1? West Forsyth at AC Reynolds.
Yeah, I think they played each other last year. Which that would
A lot of green and yellow.
make sense because this is the second year of the 2-year, whatever you want to call it, scheduling rotations.
Patton at East Burke, Providence at Ardrey Kell, Sun Valley at Olympic, Jordan Matthews at Southwestern Randolph, Central Davidson at Lexington, Rockingham County at McMichael, McDowell at RS Central, Battle of the Iredales, North at South, North Iredale, South Iredale, Bunker Hill going to Kramer. They played each other last year, didn't they? In the opener at Bunker Hill, I guess. Bunker Hill going to Kramer to start the season. Let's see, West Brunswick at Carolina Forest. East Rowan at North Rowan, North Stokes, South Davidson, North Gaston at East Gaston.
Okay.
Local one here, East Lincoln at home to take on High Brighton in the season opener. Rosamond at East Henderson, South Point at Lincoln. They've met each other for the past 50 years or more. Really?
Yeah.
On the gridiron. They might have had a little gap in there when they
Does
didn't play.
anybody know Lincoln's last win in this series?
It was about
5 or 6
4 or
years
5
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a 1-point game. It was like a 25-24 game
Yeah,
or
that's
something
right.
like that. But
I know the year that
maybe 16, maybe 2016.
that Lincoln, that Sage Surratt played, they went, pretty deep in the playoffs. They beat South Point at South Point that year. I don't know if that was the last one or not.
Yeah.
That was, I think
it is.
2016.
I think it is. Smoky Mountain at Cherokee playing on the turf. Allegheny at Surrey Central. Elkin at North Wilkes. Polk County at Newton Conover. That is Coach Pack going against his alma mater at Polk County. Somebody tell me if I've got that wrong. I'm pretty sure about that. Northern Guilford at Eastern Guilford. Carrboro at Bartlett Yancey. Ashbrook at Concord. Where's E.Z. Smith these days? What's he doing? Crest is at Freedom. That's a good matchup for the opening week of the season. Crest at Freedom. I'll take Crest, however, after the lopsided win last night. East Wilkes at West Wilkes. Madison is at Tuscola. North Forsyth at Forbush. Wheatmore's at home to take on West Davidson. North Davidson at Reagan. Pretty good, right, Brett? North Davidson and Reagan could be a good matchup. Ragsdale at Northeast Guilford. That's a name from years past. Mike Powell.
Jamestown, Ragsdale.
Mm-hmm. Used to be really good and were a playoff team every year back in the 70s and 80s, it seemed like. Randleman at Ashboro. Mount Tabor at Richmond County. Another good matchup. Mount Tabor go deep last year, Brett, or do you recall?
Basketball did.
They've been pretty good, though, in football as well. North Meck at A.L. Brown. Pine Forest at Jack Britt. Wilson Prep at East Columbus. Northwood at Lee County. Forest View at Burns. Last year that was tight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Very low defensive
It
game.
was.
I don't know how many of those kids Forest View has back,
Mount Tabor
or Burns for that matter.
missed the playoffs last year.
Did they?
Yeah.
Missed the playoffs.
Went 4-5.
Wow. Riverside Durham, Mike Powell at Cape Fear.
Cape Fear, Max Katie's boys.
They'll be ready.
Be ready, baby.
A deadly combination.
Oh, yeah.
Carver at Northmore, Trinity at Chatham Central, Oak Grove Southwest, Guilford Middle Creek at Fuquay.
Forest View Burns was 8-6 last year. Burns won.
Burns won 8-6. Did I nail that? Very close. Defensive battle.
Yeah, that was.
Avery County at Cherryville. Hickory Ridge at Hunter Huss. Rollsville at Pinecrest. Moorhead at Western Guilford. Robbinsville at Asheville. That's an odd matchup. I mean, I know they're both in the mountains, but Robbinsville being the smaller 1A, taking on 3A. I think they're still 3A, aren't they? Asheville.
You mentioned Avery County Cherryville.
That would be a good one to see.
Yeah, second year of that series.
Last year,
whether it continue after.
Last year, Robbinsville beat Asheville 45-23.
45-23 Robbinsville.
Yeah.
Well, I'm taking them again then. Here we go. East Rutherford back on the varsity level. Good to see.
I forgot
to
about
see that.
East Rutherford not having a team.
East Rutherford at West Henderson on Friday night. Central Cabarrus at Mount Pleasant. Maiden is at Fred T. Ford to kick off the 2022 season. This one would be fun. Pisgah Brevard. Brevard, I think, got back on track a little bit last year, started put some wins together. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, this one I could really be wrong on, but for some reason I just thought they had a little bit better season last year than
How about Pisgah last year?
mediocre maybe.
Were they?
No, they were pretty good, weren't they?
Were they? I just think that's a good matchup to start with.
It is.
Pisgah and
mountain
Brevard.
matchup.
Pisgah went 10-2, lost to South Point in the
Ain't bad.
second round.
So they're 3A.
Yeah.
Pisgah's back to 3A.
And doesn't look like they played Brevard last year.
Okay. But what did Brevard go? Did you?
Oh, you got to give me a second.
Pisgah not playing any home games this year, according to head coach Scott Cloninger, or former head coach Scott Cloninger. And you know what that's about?
The flooding?
The flooding's got to be. The flooding really messed them up last year.
Yes,
I mean, it was. I've never seen anything like it. It was the whole town was underwater.
Yeah.
You know,
Brevard only 3-6 last year.
Brevard 3-6. So yeah, they see. I
And
told you
they beat Robbinsville.
Wow.
First game of the year.
Wow. Vance County at Warren County. Thomasville at Albemarle. Do they not start with each other every single year? It seems like it's kind of like the old Hickory Statesville used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wanting to kick things off. T.W. Andrews, Ben L. Smith, Carson at Statesville. So there's no Statesville Hickory this year. I think that's been gone for a while.
Well, they played in the conference together.
That's right. That's
They
right. They surely wouldn't start the season. Hopewell and Cox Mill, Starmount and East Surrey, Raleigh Enlow and Southeast Raleigh, Cleveland, number 14 in the state, at Cary. Highland Tech at home to take on the Carolina Bearcats. South Stokes at West Stokes. Wilkes Central at Ashe County. Swain County at North Buncombe. North Henderson at Hendersonville. Andrews at the Hickory Hawks. Grimsley. How many points will they put up on Clayton? Maybe we should go ahead and do that right now. If they really scored 84 last night and 48 in their first scrimmage, They're going to be in the 60s. I'm going to go with them to be in the 60s against Clayton.
Oh, a safe bet.
We'll see what we get next week. I'll say they win that game 63.
I'll tell you what it was last year.
63 to 7.
56-0 last year.
Okay. Hey, I may be right on track. I might be on to something. North Brunswick at Whiteville, Alexander Central at Hickory to kick off the season. Head coach Joe Glass going into his second year now. At
high
Hickory
expectations.
West Rowan at Salisbury, Ledford at North Stanley, Southern Guilford at Southeast Guilford. I love to call that one. North Lincoln at West Lincoln. We will call that one. Mount Airy, North Surrey, Hertford County at Gates County, Thomas Jefferson at Drome, West Iredale at Lake Norman. Do you know how many high schools there are in North Carolina now? Kings Mountain at Shelby. Kings Mountain at Shelby. You know, great way to start the season.
Is that the Battle of Buffalo Creek?
And I must have been wrong about Kings Mountain's preseason ranking because they don't have a number beside their name in the state of North Carolina, but Shelby does have a 5, and that's a pretty high number whenever you're talking about every school in the state of North Carolina.
Am I correct? This is the Battle of Buffalo Creek, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Not the Wed River.
Not the Wed River Wobbly, but
Walker Town is at home to take on Atkins. South Columbus at West Bladen. Mountain Heritage at Chase.
Oh.
Interesting. Chase has been much improved the last few years.
Yes, they have.
Still got the really good running back.
Yep.
That was Chase,
one more
right?
year. 2,000-yard rusher last year.
Mick.
Almost 3.
What was it? Mick something.
Donalds?
Yeah.
I do not know. I can't remember. I'll leave that up to you.
Is it McCombs? C-O-M-B-S? McCombs?
I don't know. I thought that was just a slang term used by McDonald's. McHolmes.
Not McHolmes. McCombs.
McHolmes with a C. Franklin at Murphy. Southern Alamance at Graham. Nightdale at Garner. Dudley is at Page. And Pender is at Camp Lejeune. And Camp Lejeune's been all over the TV screens with the lawsuits that are going out now. Camp Lejeune and the
there was a documentary on that some years ago called Semper Fi about the lead poisoning in the water at Camp Lejeune back in the 80s, 90s. Yeah.
And now they got the info commercials on there about suing, and
Suing
you don't pay us a thing unless we win your case.
Better call Saul.
Then we'll give you 5%.
The representation on that one.
Thanks for tuning in. Next week we will have scores to report, real scores from high school football. Get out there and enjoy the weekend and get ready for high school football coming up Thursday and Friday this coming week. For Brett, Mike, I'm David. See you next week.